Hello, everyone. Again, welcome to the First United Spiritualist Church Tuesday night healing service. It is so lovely to be with everyone. I am receiving so much beautiful energy from all these beautiful hearts here tonight and seeing these wonderfully lit up faces. I'm so happy to be here with everyone, and especially happy to have Rickie here with us tonight. She always does a very powerful, powerful healing and shares so much of her heart, so much love and generosity, and a beautiful, beautiful healing. I will start with the announcements for the church. Following this healing service at 8:30, we have a development circle with Lynn Marie Holden, who's a powerful medium, does a lot for the church. And then on Sunday, the morning service at 11 a.m. is with Parneet Verdi. And at 7:30 p.m., the Sunday evening service is with Darlene Gaunt. And then Tuesday coming up in a week, we have a healing service with Neville Kim Singh, and he's doing a series of talks on energy healing. And then following his healing service is a development circle with Lynn White. And now I would love to invite everyone to join me for the opening prayer. Divine Mother, I feel your presence with us so strong tonight. Your warm, soft, loving embrace. And we ask during this time of great change that you continue to hold us in your loving protection, to be with us in our times of uncertainty. If we feel lost, to help us see the beautiful light that guides us. If we feel alone, to feel your presence with us, and also the presence of the beautiful hearts that share our life journey with us, share space on this earth, and also the beautiful hearts of the community around us, the church community, all the loving and supportive hearts that give so much to help others find the light as well. And if we have questions in these times of great change, to guide us to look inwards for the answers and find that divine light that shines within each of us. And may we always be pointed when we are searching, be pointed back to the beautiful love that so abundantly surrounds all of us. And with so much gratitude for all the blessings that you shower on us, for the infinite love that you steep our lives with. Thank you so much. In your name, we pray. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me in that prayer. And it was with great excitement that I introduced Rickie, a very powerful energy healer, trance mediumship, just a wonderful light. She has added so much to my experience on my healing journey, and I am so excited for the healing service tonight. Thank you so much, Rickie.
Good evening, everybody. I am so excited and really speechless with the amount of energy that each and every one of you exuding. I feel like I myself is bathing with your loving energy. So today I would like to talk about the separate self or the non-self. And I've asked God to guide my talk, to guide my heart, because it is a very difficult topic. And afterwards, we will do healing, and I am going to go to trance and do trance healing. So the separate self, what do we say by the separate self? What does that mean? Here I am, I'm sitting here, you there, each and every one individual. When I am looking in within, it is the oneness. And I've talked about this before, the recognition of the I. Most of us, most of the time, do not live with the I, with the recognition or the awareness of self. So what happened with the conditioning of our life? We begin to separate from self. And that separate self is constantly seeking to come back to self, to oneness. Constantly. The one thing that we thrive to in life is to become one, because that's what the soul knows. That's what the soul recognizes. But as we come here, experiencing physical life, we separate with the conditioning of our life from the self, and we become separated. So when we separate from self, we're going through all those challenges, seeking the light to come back. So I went up to the mountain, and I think I told the story to Karen, if I'm not mistaken. I went up to the mountain one day with a friend of mine, and it was really, really scary. I was really, really afraid, absolutely fearful. I thought I'm going to die. There was an edge that we needed to cross, and it was quite a high mountain, and there was an edge that we needed to cross. And at that moment, I was certain that that's the end. At that moment, at that very moment of certainty of death, that I went back to self. I became one. Only the I existed in that moment. So as we go through life and the conditioning of our life, and we are seeking pleasures, we want to buy a new home, we want to have a new relationship, we want to have a baby, we want to have this gift, we want to buy this car, we want to plan this trip, seeking continuous pleasure. And someone told me last week, you know, I just bought this clinic, but I don't feel anything. I should be happy, but I really don't feel anything. So it's that continuous seeking, continuous wanting. What? To re-experience that sensation of the knowing of the self, of the coming back to the source, of the coming back to the I, to the oneness. So why do we need to go through these experiences? We came from source, which is God. We come here to experience life, and we became separated. Why do we need to do that? Why is this happening? Why do we need to experience the separation from self? That's a very big question, isn't it? And each to his own. And so within this free will, within the free choice that you're going to go through that understanding and the uncovering of what's underneath that, I want to say what's underneath that stone. And through that lifting up that stone, looking what's underneath, that you will come to that oneness. We are a vessel. We are a container to allow the light to come in, to allow the flow of God's love and divine love to come in. We are not an empty vessel. We are a vessel that is filled with emptiness. I'm going to repeat. We are not an empty vessel. We are a vessel that is filled with emptiness. What does that mean? And I'm going to ask God because He just gave me those words. A vessel that is filled with emptiness is a vessel that is filled with God. Because when we empty all, when we release all, when we understand that there is nothing to seek, there is nothing to catch, there is nothing to find, there is nothing to want, it's all here. That is the empty vessel, which is filled with God's light. So with this understanding that the conditioning of our life that create the seeking of the pleasure to come back to the oneness within. I have this Tibetan bowl here, empty. Empty, looks empty, but it's not. It's filled. As we can create sound and vibration, and it's filled. So think about ours, an empty vessel that receives God divine love. And when that vessel is empty, allowing, receiving, accepting, wanting, wishing, willing to receive this divine love. So through the challenges, through the difficulties, through the anguish, through despair, through the loss, the grief, all the so many experiences in so many levels that each and every one experience in life, each to his own, we reveal and we empty what is not needed for that soul. But it does need to go through all of those things in order to reveal itself, in order to come to self, to become one. To become one with self. So we continuously seeking in the outside world, seeking the pleasure. And what that pleasure is, it is sensation. It is a sensation we are seeking within. Some people go into mountaineering. Some people go into racing. Some people go diving. Some people go into baking. Some people go into madness cleaning. All sorts of things. Is to evoke this sensation of needing to be reconnected with self that we abandoned. We have left self due to the desires that we have to achieve some things that are outside of ourselves. So I invite you to empty your vessel by sitting in silence, by becoming still, by sending prayer to God, to open up self to the inflow of divine love. And as this inflow of divine love, it will be like a pressure cooker. It comes in and it goes out what is not needed. As you filling up yourself with divine love, with that connection and communion with God, with that connection and communion with self, you will feel joy and happiness. So if I'm going to put a scale here, and I have suffering, anguish, and I have joy and happiness, which one would you choose? Which one would you choose? And I'm not saying the suffering and challenges are not going to be there. We all experience grief. We all experience losses. We all experience pain, particularly at this time. But it's coming to self that will help you, help us go through and tip the scale to the happiness and joy. By simply emptying the vessel and filling it up with God's divine love, your soul seeking God's soul, not seeking the car, not seeking to fill up the bank account, not seeking to have another piece of cheesecake. All wonderful, but this is your scale. And you have the free will to choose which one you want more. It's not creating balance. It's tipping off to have more joy and more happiness. So when you're going through these challenges, this scale here responds differently. Because you are self. You are coming from that powerhouse, which is your soul. Your soul is powerful. It is with God. It cannot be any other way. It is not weak. We are separated from self. So we are so conditioned. So our reaction becomes as such that we feel powerless. We feel we can't do anything. We feel in despair, in anguish. So how do we come back to the self, to the oneness? Everything has a container, no matter which way you're going to look at it. Anything you're going to take that exists in the physical as a container. When you take a candle, it has the wax and the wick is inside. When you're going to light the candle, the flame in this candle, it will be lit forever. But that container, the wax that's holding the wick of that candle, it's lit, and it will lit and enter the candle all the way. So allow that recognition within yourself. I am one. I am one. I am soul. That's all you need to do. You do not need to take any step anywhere. You do not need to go into your car and drive to Montana. You don't need to go anywhere. Right there, right here and there, you sit where you are. And I recognize my soul. I recognize that I have separated from self. I have recognized that I am seeking pleasures to evoke that sensation of wanting to come back home. And that home is God. That home is the soul within that is yearning to be connected to the source. And in order for us to tip the scale from suffering to joy and inner everlasting happiness, is coming back to the source within, which is your soul. And once you do that, you will be forever joyful. No matter what you're going to face in life, no matter what challenge going to come to you, you will have a greater understanding of how to be with the condition that arise in your life. No matter what the conditions are, that soul will come into the realization and be. Simply be. And having that knowing, and I'm not saying believing, I'm saying having the knowing. I know, I recognize, I am aware, I am awake to this oneness within. I am coming back home. Simple prayer, as I keep saying continuously. Recently, we have been receiving many messages in our trance states. And all the messages awaken your soul. Come back in. Come back to God. Be one with the Creator. There is no other way to go. So God give us free will and we choose. And which one is an easier choice? To come back home or to forever look for a home that can be destroyed with any storm that might come upon us? With any storm that might come upon us. Any wave can come and flush us, take us away. But when you one with self, you understand that any storm that is going to come, nothing will wash you away. Nothing will take what you've got already in there, which is your soul, which is everlasting with Father, Mother, God. Everlasting. So I'm encouraging you to remain curious. To remain curious about the path. When you're facing a challenge, to take a breath, breathe in, allow yourself to be. Trust that you're not alone. Trust that the Creator is with you. And simply reach out. I am asking for the divine flow, for the divine love to flow in. I am asking for this divine love to connect with. Miracles will happen. Miracles will happen. And I'm not sitting here talking from this place. I am sitting here talking from a place that I have gone through tremendous amount of suffering and continue. But I suffered a lot when I was only here and I had no here, none whatsoever. And when I begin to recognize and to realize the word soul, thank you, Ginny, you forever changed my life, forever. When I realized that there is a soul within us and there is God, and I began to make this connection, the scale began to tip. I don't experience suffering now. Absolutely I do. I'm human. I'm in the physical world. But my reaction, all of it is changed. Is never going to be the same. Never will be the same reaction. Never from the same place. Because I know I am here, one with self. My need to seek for pleasure have decreased tremendously. I wanted to buy houses, I wanted to change car, I wanted to do all of these things. I still do, but not with the same desire, not for the same place of desire, not at all. Not at all. So my wish today is that each and every one will come to the recognition that the separated self cause havoc. And by the recognition of your soul existence, to come back to within, simple prayer, stillness, and meditation, yearning to ask for the divine love, for God, light to flow into you, to fill you up with that joy and love, to fill you up. I'm going to leave you with this as we're moving into our next part of our session. Manilai, do you need to say anything before we go to the healing? No? Okay. So I'm going to go actually to trance and ask my inspirer to come forth. So let us take a deep breath in and relax. Allow your eyes to close. Close your eyes. Make yourself really comfortable wherever you are. And take a wonderful, nice, big, deep breath in and out from the top of your head to the tip of your toes and letting go completely. No one is wishing or wanting anything from you. There is nothing that you desire at this moment but to go in, to go back to the I. As you breathe into your heart, you begin to notice the spark of light within. Take a moment to connect to that spark of light. And you allow the spark of light to begin to expand all around you. And you begin to feel light and love and flow. Dear Father God, the healer of all healers, your angels and ministries, the healers of the universe, the doctors of the universe, the psychiatrists of the universe, the inspirer to be with us here. Relax your mind, please.
I can see some of you having great difficulties with the headaches. Let me take your headaches and pressure away from you. Relax your minds. Let me remove this pressure from you and headaches so you can become free from the tangles within your mind. Do not be afraid, my beloved children. Do not be afraid. Many of you are filled with burdens in your hearts, sadness. Please relax your hearts. Let me take these burdens from you. Relax your heart, my beloved children. Release your pain. Let me take pain away from your heart. Release your pain. Release your pain from your heart, my beloved children of God. Some of you have great problems with the digestion system. Just relax your abdomen. Relax. Nausea. Nausea coming from that anxiety. If you are smoking, you must wanting to stop the smoking. It must be better for your lungs. I can see some problems with some lower backs. Some pinching in your lower back, some of you. May God light fills you up. May God light guide your path. May you feel with God light. Allow this light to penetrate all the parts within you. Let this light flow. One of you has some problem with the ankle. Just straighten your ankle for a moment for me. I will help you. Just move your ankle a little bit and I will help you take the pain away. May God's blessings be shine upon you and all your family members, including your pets.
Take a nice breath in and out. Allow the energy to continue to flow freely within. Remember that spark within you, the love within, and slowly come back, slowly come back, and slowly open your eyes when you're ready. And everybody, Shari and Miranda and Curl, if you come back to the camera so we know you're okay. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anybody would like to share before we conclude the session? Is everybody back? Ginny?